Welcome to part 3 of modeling a TV. Okay, that was lame. I probably should not do that again. Alright, hi guys. Welcome to part 3. In this part, we will be finishing the model. So, if it might be half an hour or a little longer, so bear with me. Okay, so this is where we left off in the previous part. We finished the TV box. That's what it's called. It's called a TV box, and I've been calling it some ridiculous names. Yeah. So, anyways, so in this part we're gonna finish not just the box. We're gonna finish the whole model. Okay. So let's dive right in. So this is what our model should look like, and I just spotted a mistake over here. I mean, you can see that there's some weird geometry topology issue happening there. That's because I didn't bevel this edge. Somebody actually mailed me saying that they didn't understand this beveling thing. I don't blame you. It's actually a little, it's a little hard to get your head around it for the first time when you see it. The thing is, basically, I'm actually gonna show it to you right here. I'm gonna make a cube and taking it here. So if I add a subsurf to this, you get this, right? You have this subdivided cube. And in order to sharpen the edges, I'm basically gonna add a loop over here like this, and okay, I can't add a loop over here, so maybe I would inset this, right? So now I have this sharp edge. But basically what you're doing is you've just made like 3 edges. In the place of 1 edge, you made 3 edges. So another easier and quicker way to actually do the same thing is to actually select that face. Select those edges and hit Ctrl B to bevel, and scroll to make 3, and there you go. You can make much more precise loops than these. And you can see that when you add proximity loops, one of the downsides of it is that it's not very easy to get perfectly spaced loops, but when you do this, you can. And there's also another way to actually get like those perfectly spaced loops. You just select one edge and hit Control Shift R to make like another loop near it. And but that mostly doesn't work for these edges. But if you're doing it in the middle, say like this, and you hit Control, oh, I'm sorry, I just realized I didn't start this. Yeah, that seems right. Okay, so basically if you select any loop and hit Control Shift R, you get to make these evenly spaced loops. You get to add those evenly spaced loops. So yeah, so basically the bevel is it's simple to understand, but and when you apply it actually takes some practice to know it. So basically all that we've done here is nothing complicated. Wherever that you would be adding proximity loops, we beveled that edge. That's it. That's the only thing that we did. I might actually make a video on it later explaining it more in depth. But yeah, thanks for telling me that I didn't talk about it clearly. Okay, so the first what we're gonna be doing is the speakers. Also, if you guys are hearing any background talking sounds, please forgive me. Please don't mind that, because some guests are home and they are talking apparently with my mom. Not they, one person, just one person. It's my mom's friend. Okay, so we're gonna start with the speakers, and as you can see here, these are basically like slits. All right, they're just like cuts going in, and no matter what kind of TV you see, all of these TVs had these slits, and these slits were the speakers. So it's super easy to make this. The first time that I made this TV, let me tell you, I like to be lazy. All right, I like to make my work quicker. I like to give the maximum output, giving the putting in the minimum effort. So I actually use some booleans to make that. It's non-destructive and can be corrected later. Well, sure, you can do that, but another way to do, you know, I realized that this is a much more efficient way to do it. Nothing, just add some loops like this. I think about 8 loops. You know, you scroll it, you can see in the bottom left how many loops you've added. So add like loops over here, the same number of loops over here. I think that's more. Um, and just make sure that's evenly spaced over here like this. Cool. And once you've added that, right now if you select it, you'll be actually going till the corner. Your face will go to the corner. You don't want to select entirely till the corner, because if you extrude it, it's going to look like this, and we don't want that. So what we're going to do is add a loop in the middle. All right, we're gonna give boundaries for that. We're gonna add a loop in the middle like this. Control R to add a loop, and uh, click to apply it, and right click to cancel its movement and keep it exactly in the center, and hit Control Shift R to bring up 2 loops from it. So now you get these equal spaced loops from the center. And once you get that, once you've placed the loops where they should be, just select this loop and dissolve that edge. So when you do that, you get and now your face has this boundaries. So let's select like every alternate face. All right, and you don't necessarily have to add 8. I just added 8 because I thought that it was enough. If you feel like you need more, go ahead and add more. If you feel like you need less, add less. And just extrude these faces in there. All right, and there you go. That's about it. It should look gross right now, but don't worry about it. And the same thing now, these speakers didn't have, I mean, these TVs didn't have speakers only in the front. All right, they have it in the sides, they have it in the back as well. You can see that. And there's no specific way for how these speakers should come. All right, you can just put them, they just saw an empty space and put speakers there. I guess does this count as surround sound? I mean, it's surround sound for the TV, not for us. Anyways, and as we can see, we have a lot of free space over here. So why waste the space? We already have the loops. Why waste it? So all we need to do now is add loops over here, and just you kind of might have to eyeball it. Just make sure that whatever loops you add here, it's kind of evenly spaced with the loops which are over here, with the faces over here. Okay. I think this looks good. Maybe, yeah, I think I'll go with 8. And same thing over here. Is that good? I think that's good. So yeah, I think that's about it. And again, once again, we're just gonna be selecting every alternate face like this. Yep, just like that. By the way, guys, I watched Godzilla vs. Kong yesterday, and I really liked the movie. I mean, it's really good. Well, yesterday, well, if this movie is coming on, I mean, if this tutorial part is coming on 26th of March IST, then I watched it on 25th March IST. All right. So in India, it's 25th. India is once we in the East are actually a day ahead of the West. Alright, so with all of these faces selected, you should notice that some of these faces are not, the size of them are they're not equal. Yeah, a little, you can put a little extra effort and kind of play with these edges, like select this edge, and you can maybe like take it up a little, and you can make them evenly spaced. I think there is an add-on to actually make these faces equal, but I don't know what it is. If anybody knows it, just put out in the comments. Okay. Anyways, with those faces selected, just extrude them in like this, just the way we did it in the previous thing, in the front. And you should have this. Yeah, the reason I did not put in that extra effort is because this is a tutorial, and I don't mind that. I don't want to waste my other time on that, you know. All right, once you've done that, done this, all that we have to do now is to sharpen the edges, because right now it looks downright horrible. So make sure you're in face select mode. I'm going to make your life easier. We're going to be beveling it, but I'm going to make your life easier. Make sure you're in face select mode, and alt and select this loop of face. Okay, these loops, that loop of faces which goes this way, just select that, and alt shift and select every single of those lines. All right, um, what just happened? All right, just select those, um, like that. This what I'm doing right now is gonna save your life, because you really don't want to be in edge select mode, selecting each edge separately and beveling it, man. Come, that's gonna kill you probably. And the same thing in the front. All right, speaking of which, Godzilla vs Kong, the CG was amazing. I loved it. I loved the CG, um, especially on Kong. You know, I loved it. Alright, once you have these selected, go to edge select mode, and you should see that we have all the edges which we need to bevel already selected for us. Cool. All you have to do is go and go to your bevel weight, and ta-da, you would have beveled it, and it still looks horrible. That's because here's something that you need to know. The bevel sharpens the edges, alright? But it does not change the shape of the object. In order to change the shape of the object when you have the subsurf modifier on, what should you do? Edge loops. Uh, so you add a loop like this, and you can enable the subsurf in edit mode, and you hit Control Shift R, you bring up those loops, right? But notice that as you take this to the sides, you kind of change the shape of the object. So that's basically what we are gonna do. So know this, always remember the golden rule: bevel to sharpen your edges, and loops to control the shape of your object. All right, that's one rule which, if you remember, it's gonna really help you work cleaner, because you can see how many edges we've beveled here. All right, if you were adding proximity loops for every single edge, you know, you're going to be having three edges instead of one edge over here, for each of these bold black lines. That's going to be a lot of vertices on your model, and working with it is going to be very hard. I'm not saying that it does not work. That method works, but it makes your life a lot harder. That's it. So it's all up to you in the end. I'm just telling you a way to help work easily. And you know, if you're really really into perfectionism, these TVs, you know, these speakers didn't these are speakers, and as of now we have these covered. So you know, you can just select all of these faces, and delete them. Yeah, but and this one you really have to do it one by one. There's no trick for this. Yeah, select all of those faces. By the way, I was in front view, and so you know, I was in orthogonal view, so I was able to select all of those easily. If you're in perspective, you won't be able to do that. Just X and delete those faces, and now you made those holes. Of course, you didn't have to bevel these loops, but it does not matter, does it? It's the same thing in the back. And I don't want to bore you, so I will be doing this off screen. All right, there you go. It's done. That's how your model should be looking if you followed my tutorial properly. Cool. So we have our speaker holes. Well, yeah. Actually, the holes would be a lot smaller, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. It's good enough. It passes the model. All right. The one thing you should notice is that because of us adding so many loops, this corner is kind of sharp, and we don't want that. So easy to correct. Just go into edge select mode, and select this. Oh, also select one vertex instead of selecting everything like this. Select one, hold control and select another to select that whole path. It basically selects like the shortest path, and it's really helpful while modeling. And I'm just gonna scale these down along the x-axis to kind of continue on the curvature. So the curvature, it's not sharp, it's a little more curved. And there you go, we've done it. Perfect. The next thing, what was that? What's that? Is my model fine? Yeah, it's fine. Alright, it's just blend out my same thing now. Okay, the next thing for us to do is the let's do these side speakers later. Alright. The next thing that we're gonna be doing is the these twisters. I think that's what they're called. Bring up your image, and you can see what they look like. So they're basically like, they're pretty easy to make. I'm just gonna keep my cursor here, and I'm gonna add a cylinder because that's what it resembles the most. Rotate it 90 degrees along the x-axis, scale it down to match that, and position it perfectly in the center, like there. Alright. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into side view and go into edit mode with X-ray view enabled. I'm gonna take this in like this. So this is our thing, like our television box. So I'm gonna keep it like over here because there was a little, these things are not scraping the surface, they're like a little tight. I mean they have a little gap, right? I'll tell you why. And I'm gonna take this like over here, and in local view I'm gonna select this back face, the face which was closest to the television, and I'm going to insert that face like this. Cool. Once I've inserted, I'm gonna extrude it and shove it into the TV like that. Okay, just shove it in, it doesn't matter. And also I can delete that face because that is an unnecessary face which is not even going to be seen. Cool. The next thing is to actually model the damn thing. It's did I just swear on my channel? I'm sorry about that. Okay, so this is you can get creative with this. Okay, I'm just gonna do my version of it. I'm gonna make one insert, another insert, another insert like this, and actually select all of these loops. Oh, come on. Yeah, all of these. It's a little hard to work. And I'm gonna take these outside. Should I? Maybe just a little. And then I'm gonna select this loop and this loop and make an extrusion out of it like this, like that. And select this face, make an inset to up to over here maybe, and grab it out to make that curvature, to make that slope over here, which I really like. And it's something, it's you get to decide how much detail you want on this. Alright, there are some people who would want this to be really detailed and really intricate, so if you're one of those people, go ahead and spend some time on this. I'm just gonna make a simple one because I actually like it simple, like that. And yeah, I can make another insert, and this is where you have to follow me. Once you reach the center, you want to take it in like this, make an extrusion and take it in, and make an inset like this to create that gap between the twister and the so basically all of this is not the twister, all of this is like it's just a static thing. This thing, this line and this circle, these are the actual twisters. All right, so that's they're basically like, it's like another part but we don't have to make it as an extra part. We can just make it like this, and extrude it out, and you basically have that. But how do you make this thing in the center? Well, it's actually super easy to make, but the problem is that our cylinder has this face which is called an n-gon. So an n-gon is basically any face which has 4 or more vertices, right? The problem is that through an n-gon you cannot put a loop. You can see that here we have like 4 vertices making a face, which is a quad, which is good topology, good geometry, and you are able to put a loop through it and in any way. But notice that we can't really put anything into an n-gon, because an n-gon doesn't have direction. That's what I learned. But we can make this an n-gon. All you have to do is select the edges, select the opposing vertices on the n-gon and hit J on your keyboard to join those vertices. All right, so you just have to select it into this. Now one problem that I find with Blender is the color of the cursor in edit mode. I mean, look at that, it's camouflaged onto the object. I mean, if I move this fast, it's practically invisible. Where's it? Yeah. And because of this, I'm having to work really slow and see where it is. And I actually checked online if there was a fix for that. Oh, don't want that. Don't worry about the corner face, just keep it an n-gon for now. I'll tell you what to do about it. Anyways, yeah, I searched online if there was a fix for that, but apparently there is no way to change the color of the crosshair in edit mode. But there are two ways you can fix it. I mean, two ways how you can kind of troubleshoot it basically. One is to change the color of the Blender theme, which I really don't want to do. I've grown comfortable with this. I like this. It's beautiful. I like this. Or another thing is to change the color of your cursor in Windows, because apparently this crosshair in edit mode takes the same color as the Windows cursor. I don't know why that is, but that's super cute. I wish there was a fix for that. Anyways, you should see that our corner vertices, our corner faces, the last faces are n-gons on either side. 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 vertices making up a face. We can easily solve that by selecting this edge and and hitting J, and there you go. You should have quads all over your n-gon. So now you can see that we're able to add loops through it. Alright, now just select like these 4 of these faces. I don't know why I'm stammering. Make an inset out of it like this. Yeah, maybe if you wanna make an extrusion inside, it might look good. Make another inset and bring it out, extrude it out like this, maybe till here. All right, up to here maybe. And after this, you hit E on your keyboard once, right click to cancel it, and scale it up. No, don't do that. Actually, don't do that. That was horrible. I don't know what I was thinking. Just extrude it out here, and stop over here. Maybe take it a little out. Extrude it out again like this. You'll see why once you do that. Select this face, these two faces like this. Hit E on your keyboard, right click to cancel it, and SZ to bring them up like this. You can see what that's doing. That's looking good. And let's make it a little thicker. Just select this and this, and one thing you can do is to actually scale it along the x-axis. But if you do that, you kind of scale this in, and creates this overlapping geometry. So instead of that, hit E on your keyboard, right click to cancel it, S and X to bring them apart like that. How cool is that, isn't it? and scale that down along the z-axis to continue that curvature if you want the curvature. And there you go, you should have something like this. Just do this once, and do not duplicate it, because it will be a lot easier to duplicate this once you apply the textures and done the unwrapping and everything else. You will have to unwrap it twice and apply the textures twice and everything. So just do it once and leave it. All right. Okay, cool. Next we have this cute little power button over here, which is super easy. Just it's another cylinder. Scale it down. So you should probably know what this is. I mean, know how to do these. You don't need me to tell you this, but you can follow on. Anyways, how are you guys? How's your day? How's your week? We could talk about something. I think I'm just gonna shove it in there. Okay. Oh, come on. Wrong object. Yeah. So I recently saw this video on YouTube. I mean, it's like 3 years old, and but it was the CGI of breakdown of a Russian movie called Attraction. I don't know, some of you might have seen it. Damn, man, it was beautiful. I was just looking at it for I've watched that video like at least 5 times ever since I saw it first, and I saw it recently, like this week or something. So yeah, it's really amazing the things that you can do with CG, and how far CG has come. There was a time where you couldn't do anything, but today there's this app through which you can animate people from photos. I mean, it's just amazing. Technology is, I couldn't wrap my head around it, man. I really couldn't. So I'm extruding here, pressing E, right clicking to cancel it, and scaling it up to create that circle. Oh. Press S and Shift Y to scale it in every axis except the Y axis. Yeah. Shouldn't scale it in the Y axis. Something like that looks good. And yeah, now about this kind of this gnarly pattern, it's super easy to do it. I'm just select all of these faces, hit I on your keyboard, but when you do that, you make an inset, you should see something like this happening. But if you read over here, you can see that there's something called individual. So after you press I on your keyboard, press I again to inset individually. So each face gets inserted individually, and once you've done that, once you have the desired amount, right click to apply it, and hit E on your keyboard, right click it, scale it up, and Shift Y to scale it in every axis except the Y axis. And now once you scale it up, you get that gnarly pattern, which looks cool. Okay, yeah, I like this. I'm liking how this is going. Maybe just create an extrusion in there, this. What happened? Yeah, that's what I wanted. Cool. I like how this is going. So now you should have a knob. You should have the twister. You should have the power button. I forget the knob. Alright, the next thing for us to do is that these TVs came with a stand. Yeah, they came with a stand. Some of them didn't have stand. Some of them were, they just kept it on tables. But some rich people didn't want to keep it in tables, I guess. So they had these TVs came with these legs, So yeah, let's make that. uh, I'm just gonna add a cube and scale it down along the z-axis. Why a cube, you ask? You'll see. And shift Z to scale it up in every axis except the z-axis. After that, I'm just gonna take it down like this and place it in the middle of this. I think that looks like the middle. And yeah, I'll have to scale it down in the y-axis. I'm really sorry that this part is taking so long, but I really want to finish the modeling in this part, because so that over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I can release two parts. One will be UV unwrapping and the other will be texturing, and after that, this series is over. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna add in another cube for the legs, scale it in every axis except the z-axis. You should know the keyboard shortcut by now. Maybe this much, and bring it down. Now how long do you want the legs to be? That's up to you. I'm just gonna see this, and I can see that the legs are almost as big as the TV itself. So I'm gonna take it up and actually scale it up along the, it doesn't have to be exact, it just has to be uh, approximate. I don't think they specifically saw this and said, yeah, I want the legs should be the same size as the TV. No, I don't think it was like that. So it just has to be approximate. And in side view, I'm gonna take this leg and bring it to the front somewhere like this. Somewhere over here is nice, and in the front view, I think that it being over there is good enough. So it should be over here. And all right, X-ray mode, I'm gonna select this face, scale it up like this. Maybe that's too much, maybe like this. And select this face and scale it down like this. And once that's done, you can select the upper face and press G on your keyboard and move it along the x-axis like this. And it should look cool. You can select this and maybe take it up if you think it's too long. And you just have to do this once, because after that you can add in a mirror modifier and use this cube as the object, and it should have that. And select y-axis also to get your 4 legs. And it should look pretty cool, doesn't it? I really like this. Okay, so there's just 3 things left for us. Okay, so you can put a checklist now. We just have 3 things left to finish. We have the antenna, we have the stuff which comes in here, and finally we have the speakers on the side. Oh, it's actually not a little hot today. It is hot still, but it's not as hot as it was when I recorded part 2. It's nice. Yeah, the problem is that I have to turn off my fan as well as my AC for recording. Else, you're gonna be hearing a lot of fan sounds. I'm pretty sure you will be hearing my laptop fan sounds when we do texturing, but okay. All right. Let's do the antenna. I don't know why but I'm just really, really, really trying to avoid these speakers as long as possible. It's super easy to do. It's just like it was just this one sphere, I guess. Yeah, there was just this one ball and it had like 2 sticks coming out of it. Some of these TVs had antennas attached to them like this, but our TV does not have that. Easy. I'm gonna add in a UV sphere, go into edit mode, and I'm gonna select all the faces to up till the half. No, select up till here. Alright, and I'm gonna delete all of those vertices. Now I should have an exact half the UV sphere. I'm gonna scale it down like that, pick it up, and let's keep the antenna over here. Why not? Yeah. Okay, where do you want the antenna? Some TVs had it over here on the back side. Some TVs did have it on the front like this, so I like it on the front, so I'm gonna keep it here. And yeah, just keep it up like this, and let's select this face. Local view should help. E once, right click to cancel it, scale it in every axis except the Z axis like this, and you should have that. Just leave a tiny hole in the middle and come out of local view and extrude it and shove it into the TV. There you go, you should have that. And you can kind of pull it down like this maybe. Alright, once you've placed the sphere, let's make the actual antennas. There are two ways to how you can do it. One way is to actually select like two faces from this, like here and here, and press E on your keyboard, right click to cancel it, and press Alt S to scale them along the normals, which actually really works. Or another way is to actually make add another cube, and the same way that we did our legs of the TV, just model those antennas. But I'm just gonna do this because it makes a lot more sense to actually do it like this. Might as well select these and scale them along the y-axis. Oh, I extruded them, I'm sorry. Yeah, scale them along the y-axis like this to maybe I have to do this manually, kind of like this, and over here like that. That should look cool. And I'm gonna select both of these and yeah, hit E, right click, Alt S to scale them along the normals. Normal is basically the way that a face is facing. So this face was facing this way, so the extrusion goes that way. I'm gonna take it like up to here and make an inset like this, maybe till up here, and then I'm gonna make another extrusion and Alt S along the normals like this, and there you go, you should have a good looking antenna. And only thing is that these antennas, they had this tapering in the end, so yeah, make another inset and E again, and this time take it in along the normals. Actually no, take it out, I'm sorry about that. Take it out like that, and press E again, scale it along the normals like this. Did I go too much? I think so. And you can select this line of faces and this line of faces using Alt and Alt S to scale them along the normals. Sorry, E and then Alt S to scale them along the normals, and now you should have that tapering, that kind of a ball at the end. So yeah, you select this face and this face and bring it down a little. Cool. So yeah, there you go, you have finished your antenna. And we have two things left now for this video. The first one is, it's gonna be the pins in the end, man. I'm so sorry. Somebody watching this video is like, this guy is getting on my nerves. I'm probably am, and I hope I'm not, though. I just want to do this because in the end. So these pins over here are super easy. You can, I don't even have to tell you what this is. It's like cylinders, literal cylinders. Just add cylinders, although you just have to make one of them. You don't even have to duplicate it. I'll tell you how. Just scale this in like this, about this much, and my gimbal is losing charge. How convenient. Alright, let's take this to about here maybe. Yeah, and you can select this and delete that face. We don't need it. You can select this face, go into back view, and make an inset out of it and extrude it in like that. Take it into the TV and delete. No, actually don't take it into the TV. I'm sorry. Extrude it in and till about here maybe. Make another inset like that, and extrude it out again, insert it. Yeah, this is like the super boring part of the video. All right, and take it in now. You can probably take it into the TV, and should you? It's up to you. If you wanna, you can just stop it over here. I like that. Cool. And once you've done that, I'm gonna select this one and this one. Oh, come on. Yeah, scale it in every axis except the y-axis to make it a little thick. And yeah, that should look good. And once you've done that, let's add in an array modifier for that, like this, along the x here, and just take it like this. I'm just gonna add like 4 of them, and make sure they're evenly spaced. And yeah, you duplicate it, bring it down along the z-axis, just call it done. There you go. And that's how it's done. And we just have one thing over here. I'm just gonna select that, duplicate it, delete the array modifier, bring it over here, scale it up, really up, and you can make your adjustments on this. Just you don't have to make an entirely new one. You can, I mean, it's almost similar, so just make adjustments on this. Over there, and these edges can come over here. By the way, guys, I've been making everyday artworks for a while now, since January. I for some reason I felt like my speed of working is very slow. I didn't know whether it was because I was lazy or it was just that I was a sloth. Either way, it was not good, right? So I decided to make one artwork every day this year, and you guys can follow me on the journey, on my Instagram. So my Instagram ID is over there. It should be in the bottom of this video. So yeah, go ahead, just come on, take a look at my work. You can leave a comment, maybe you can give me critique. I would really love that. And yes, why not just follow me too, would really be nice. I have zero idea how this is supposed to look like, but I'm just making something into which a pin goes. Alright, so something like that, and I think that's about it. Could maybe make it a little thicker, like that. Yeah, I think I like that. I really like that. Maybe take it in a little, so it's not too obvious. And there you go, we are 90% done with the modeling. Okay, now the dreaded part comes, speakers. And speaking of which, guys, if you want to change this, do I want to change it? Oh, come on. Yeah. You can still, if you wanna, you can make the TV a little bigger. I think it should be a little bigger. I think my TV is too small. I'm gonna make it a little thick, like this. Yeah, and I'm gonna select these and these, not you, and take them in front along the y-axis, about that much. And yeah, oh, yeah, like that. And W, set origin to geometry, and the legs will snap back into place. And isn't that cool? Now our TV looks like a TV, like an actual TV. All right. So today is Sunday. It's almost 9:30 p.m. And I told you that this video will be coming out on Friday so that I can do the unwrapping on Saturday and finish the series on Sunday. But well, there were some technical difficulties and some problems. Uh, there were some emergencies and I had to attend them, and because of that I couldn't finish the video, and actually I couldn't even finish recording this part properly. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this now. Well, if I put this video out now, well, it should still be the weekend in the West, I guess. You know, it's like one day behind India. But yeah, okay, we're gonna do this. So this is where we left the model, where I left the model. You didn't. We still have to do the side speakers, and that's about it. Oof, these are too big, actually. Yeah, these are very big. Now that I see it after 2-3 days, I can see that these are actually very big. The actual televisions, they wouldn't be this big, the speaker holes, they would actually be teeny tiny. There is another way to do these speakers, and that's what I'm going to be showing you for while doing the side speakers. All right. So yeah, one way is this. It's nice, it's clean, but yeah, you will need to put way more geometry this way. Should be around this much. This is actually the size what it's supposed to be, not this. You see how small it should be. Yeah. The other way is to actually make use booleans. All right, I don't know why my brain went off somewhere in the middle. Okay, the other way is to use booleans. So basically booleans are these non-destructive cuts which you make on an object. All right, instead of making the geometry this way so that you can make a cut into the object like how we did over here, you use another object to make that cut. So that's a boolean. And yeah, and not just cuts, you know, they're just geometry modifications. You would have learned about booleans in schools in math. You know, there's the union, intersection, and difference. Union is basically two objects joined together. Intersection is like if two objects are, you know, connected somewhere, this central point of this x over here, you know, only that point, that's the intersecting point, so that would be what is visible. And the third one is difference, where, you know, you have this object, and I'm not going to show that. Yeah, you have this object, and you have a circular object, you know, you just go which goes in like this. You use this object to kind of subtract this area from this object. All right, so union is more like addition, you know, it's this object plus this object gives this object. Intersection is the intersecting area, so, you know, this object plus this object intersecting this object is just, why am I using that? Yeah, it's just this point over here. It would be like this, I guess. I don't know. You get the idea, right? And this object minus this object, you know, it would be a hole in the middle. So that's basically how booleans work, and we're just going to be using a boolean. When I made this TV first, I used a boolean to make these cuts, you know. Because for one thing, they are super easy to make. They don't involve you having to actually, you know, like we did, you know, you having to add loops, and then, you know, you having to select the faces, extrude it in. You had none of that thing. It was just, I made a cube, made it in this shape, and shoved it into the TV, and told that part to be subtracted from the TV object. That's what I told. Now, why would I do that when it does not matter? When a detail is so small, it does not matter if I use a boolean or not. Because when you use a boolean on a TV, for example, let's say this TV, and I you know, make a character out of this TV, and I animate it and everything. That time having a boolean on this TV is not a great idea, because I'm going to be animating this TV. I can't be animating the booleans, right? It's impractical. It's a lot of work, and it's impractical and almost impossible to do perfectly. So at that time I cannot use a boolean. I will have to actually use this method to make the cuts. The when will I use a boolean? When I will really use a boolean is when it's a stationary object like this one. We're not making a character, we are making a stationary object, an asset which you can use for, let's say, an interior project, or an interior render, or just a TV, or just a modeling practice. At that time, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, you can use a boolean at that time. And it's completely non-destructive, which means you can change it later on. But the downside of using a boolean is that it really slows your computer down. And modifying the boolean in any way will really take a long time, because it has to affect it affect the change on the object as well. Okay, I've been talking for a long time. We will do this now. Okay, so first I'm actually gonna make the speakers panel. Some of these TVs, had this. Where is it? Can't find a good one. Yeah, in some TVs it was just just cuts. That's it. Just these cuts in the middle of the panel, and that's about it. But in some televisions there were these intricate things happening, like yeah, you can see this one here. There was some detail, there was some extra amount of work put into the TV to make it look uh, even better. So I like those kind of things, instead of sharp cuts like this, which if you want to do, you can still do it using this method. So I'm just gonna make a quick panel, and you can do it any way that you like, but I'm just gonna add a plane and scale it down, and apply the scale. And since my thing is gonna be symmetrical, so I'm just gonna remove all of these vertices, and add a mirror modifier on this, and along the y-axis too, and enable clipping. So I just have to model this, and everything else gets modeled for me. Hacks. So I'll extrude this up like that, maybe take this guy down, and I'll take this guy and extrude him along the y-axis like this, something like that. Yeah, I like this. I kind of like this. Have this go on a little up. SCC 0 to make it straight, and yeah, okay, something like this. All right, so now I have a panel, and I can maybe make it smaller. Okay. So now we actually have to finish modeling it, and yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna extrude it inside to give it some depth. Don't go too much, just a little would do, like that, something like that. And yeah, I'll select all of these faces, and I'll hit I to inset them. And you can see that when you insert it, I'm actually going inside, but I don't want the center line, the center part where which is stuck to the other mirrored part. I don't want that. So if I need the object to stick only to the outer boundary and not the inner boundary, I'm going to hit B to disable that. And if I hit B again, I can toggle between it. So I hit B on my keyboard, and I just realized that I didn't turn this on. Alright, so yeah, I and B to not do it over here. So just gonna take it a little inside, and I'll select this line of faces and hit extrude it a little outside to create that depth. And yeah, I'll give this a loop over here and take that out as well to create some bevel, and it looks sweet. It really looks sweet. I like this. Okay. Yeah, now you know what to do. You have to apply your subsurf modifier, and this is actually so insignificant in priority that it doesn't matter if I use proximity loops or bevels. It's nothing great, so I'm actually going to be using proximity loops on this one. There are times where using the bevel modifier would just be a lot of work. So yeah, there are gonna be times where just go and using a proximity loop would be a far simpler thing to do than to use the bevel modifier like that. So yeah, and as quick as that, I have tightened this. All of these, maybe make it a little bigger like that, and add a loop over there in the middle. Do I need that loop? Do I need it? Let it be. It's not doing anybody any harm. Okay. So once you've added the subsurf modifier, we can now make our cuts, right? And maybe make this a little smaller. It's too big. Cool. Okay, now I'm gonna add a cube. I'm gonna go into the middle of the object and add a cube. So this cube is the shape that we'll be cutting in this, and scale it down. Make it your desired shape. Speaking of which, guys, how was your weekend? How was your weekend? Yeah, how was your weekend? I would like to know about it. Okay, so you have to arrange it however you want. Some people would like to have this like rows and rows all over this. So, if you want it in the sides, you'll have to add another special boolean for that, because I'll show you how. I'm just gonna make it like this. Apply the scale because I'm gonna be beveling this. I'll select this face and this face. I'll delete it, and I can select all of these edges and I can bevel them, just to create a little smoothness. And also make sure you shade it smooth, because that for some reason that affects your cut, the quality of your cut. I deleted this face because I didn't need the face, okay. Now I'm gonna go into side view, and oh crap, probably shouldn't have deleted the face so soon, but okay, I'm just gonna add in an n-gon there so that I can see where it is. Okay, I'm gonna add in an array modifier, not along the x-axis, it's gonna be along the y-axis. We need it along the y-axis, so I'm gonna take it out along the y-axis, and you can see that how neatly it comes. Make it 3 and make it, and just eyeball it to the middle, and yeah, I like this. Once you're done with that, add another array modifier, and this time along the z-axis. Take it down like that, and that should look nice. 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. It should be 12. It looks 12, looks good to me. And you can see that we don't have it in the sides. If you want it in the sides, you will have to actually make it again. Like, you'll have to duplicate this and bring it over here, like this. Maybe align it with that, and you can cancel this array, and like that. That's how you do it in the sides. But actually, yeah, you can add in another array modifier to make things easier, and take it back along the y-axis, and there you go, you have it. Another way is to add the mirror modifier. So yeah, but I'm going to delete that because I'm just going to keep things simple for a tutorial. Okay, now I'm going to use this object to cut a hole in this, right? So I'm going to select this object, and I can see that I haven't perfectly done the loops yet. Supposed to add a loop over here like this, and like this, and like this. No, I don't need that loop. Yeah, I don't need that loop. I can just bring this to the front like that to get the job done, and it should look sweet. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna select this object and I'm gonna give it a boolean modifier. Boolean, where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's over here. Yeah. Okay, and I'll select the eyedropper tool and I will select the cube. Once that's done, it should actually take some time because, like I told you, booleans are super slow. So yeah, it should take its sweet time. And once it's done, you should be able to see that we now have cuts in this object. If I hide this, you can see that we have cuts. Look a little messy. How about fast? Does fast look good? Yeah, fast looks perfect. Make it fast. I don't know what's the difference between fast and exact. I mean, it wasn't there before. I don't think it was there in 2.81 either. 2.83. Yeah, it wasn't there in 2.8. I remember that. I made a tutorial using 2.8 which used booleans, and it was not there. I don't know what's the difference between fast and exact, but see which one works for you. And once you're done with that, I'm actually going to bring that back. I'm going to add another boolean on this one. Save it just in case Blender crashes. And it's the same thing over here. Select this and select the cube, and it should take its time. So guys, by the way, if you guys think that I make good content, feel free to support me. Hit that subscribe button, and please like this video so that it reaches more people. And also do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm really I really like to respond to comments. I don't know why, but I personally enjoy responding to comments. Alright, so please come on, man, give me some comments to respond to. And if I hide this, ta-da! We have holes. You should have this weird face overlap. Did I just took my mouse over? Okay, you should have this weird face overlap over here, but don't mind that. That's really not gonna cause you any problems. It's because we're using the same boolean to cut through two objects, but trust me, it does not cause any problems. And we need to do the same thing on that side. So select this. We're gonna give this a mirror modifier, and select the object to be the TV, and it should be on the other side automatically like that. But we can't do this for the same boolean cubes, right? We can't do that. So what we need to do is we need to duplicate this and add another boolean for the TV. So shift D to duplicate that, and once it duplicates, just take it to the other side like that. And there, yeah, just add another boolean modifier on the television, and that should be all. You just have to select the cube, and that would be all. Let's select the cube and give it its sweet time. And once it's done, ta-da, you should have this. Let's select this and hide it. And make sure you hide it from the render, because else you're gonna have some cubes sticking out of your object. Same thing over here. And I forgot to delete this face, but please make sure that you delete that face. I'm not doing it because if I go into edit mode, it's gonna still slow down, and this video is already very long, and I don't want to make it any longer. So there you go. That's the two ways of making cuts. The first way is to actually make those cuts by adding all of that geometry, which is a good way, which is still better than the boolean way, trust me, because it's faster and it does not crash your computer. The second way is to use booleans, and my advice for you is to try to avoid booleans, because try to avoid this kind of a non-destructive workflow, because booleans are really slow in Blender. They're not perfect, and they tend to crash your computer. They tend to make your Blender your software not respond. And moreover, if you have booleans like this and you want to go into edit mode on the object, you will have to disable the boolean before going to edit mode, because if you try to go into edit mode, sometimes it's still gonna slow down your progress. it's gonna really make your working speed slow. All right, because it's just gonna freeze. So yeah, that's about it. The last thing for us to do in this video is to add the subsurf modifier and tighten up the graphics on these. But why don't you do it as homework? Because, well, you know the way. You know how to add the subsurf modifier and use the bevel modifier. You did it on the television and I've explained it. So let's do one thing. Why don't you do it and keep it ready for the next video, which, because it's super easy, man. All you have to do is apply, do this, which looks super easy. This is, and this are too easy. The same thing for this as well. It's super easy, and for these as well. So yeah, they're super easy stuff. So here's some homework for you. I hope you do it. Because the next video will be UV unwrapping. We will unwrap this boy, and the video after that will be texturing, and that will be the end of the series. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a good day. I will see you in the next one, which will be coming out in, I hope, tomorrow. I want to say tomorrow, which will be coming out tomorrow. Yeah, it will be coming out tomorrow. So yeah, bye. I will see you in the next video.